is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
You know me. If you know me, you know me. If you know, you know. You know, so.
How do you like yours? Look at these. They're baked potato chips. 2 packs for $2.
He's like holding his up, like, what's up? Look what I got. Why are they so nonchalant? Like, they're just like looking like they're at Disneyland taking a picture with their baby stroller, but it's a suitcase instead of a baby. And then you're over here posting about these stupid potato chips in a bar. Like, I'm so confused. Like, the math ain't mathin'. Is that a camera right there? See, I'm sorry. I would like... Heather, there's a camera watching you. You better be careful. I'm so curious. Like, what in the world? How does she act like she just... Like, they're fine. Like, they don't have a problem with it. Like, they have no worries in the world. How are you this okay with being thrown out? How did you not get so comfortable that now you're actually going to do something about it? And where... I don't know. This isn't adding up because I don't know. I don't think she stayed out on the street.
At Walgreens.
At Walgreens. You see that smile? That's crazy. She could smile like that at a time like this. You're crazy until you are successful. Then you are a genius. No, that's not actually true, though. You can be successful and still be a crazy motherfucker. And so the people demanded reform, and reform is what they get. 1, Operation Kill Bill. That will never get old. 2, universal housing and healthcare. That always gets old. 3, zero acceptance policy on infringement of following CX rape culture Operation Denude. Free will in a way that doesn't negate another's free will. 4, guidance and love or zero tolerance policy for all youth being exploited in any way. Ma'am, you exploit the youth. You exploit your own kids. You move fast when you don't pay attention to judgment. Then is that, so you, Heather, are paying so much attention to judgment because you are moving so motherfucking slow. And not slow like the turtle in the hare story where you eventually make it to the line first because your eyes is on the prize. No, girl, you just ain't doing shit. You ain't even just going slow. You're just not going. Fucking Tranquility Bay. We running out of content. We got to bring that in there. When are you going to start begging for money? Do you have a tent? So I guess you did not miss visitation. So proud of my baby. Well, she graduated high school. We're going to have to blur this out. Ain't nobody's business where the fuck she goes. Oh, she's so cute. Again, can't... You suck, Heather. Baby is 5 months old and grabbing the phone and pressing the camera button. He also pulled down my bra to eat on his own today. Time is flying by. Make my way. I'm so curious what's about to come, I swear.
So I am at Whole Foods. I think I've given you guys a bunch of updates on Tuesday. So I have a 5-month-old son and 3 children who are ages 10, 16, and 17. On Tuesday of this past week, I believe that was July 9th, 2024, we lost our housing, our shelter placement. So we were in a shelter downtown at 100 East Chestnut called Tremont. We were there since about 3 weeks after Weston's birth. And we were promised that we would never be put back outside again, that once we were in the shelter system, we began talking to other people who have been displaced for several years. And it doesn't seem like there's any accuracy to that statement unless you find independent sponsorship or people who are willing to assist you.
No take care of baby.
Or by the grace of God, employment. Now, for me, when you discuss my situation, it doesn't make sense, which is why I've involved and continue to involve law enforcement and say that I believe it is a matter of corruption, almost like I'm a political hostage.
It's definitely curated.
For me, I have more than a bachelor's degree in education. I have 10 years of experience in the healthcare system, including at Northwestern for 6 years. And I didn't get fired from there, so I have a rehirable status.
Then go back.
And I've had a number of other jobs. I've also gone into business for myself on a lot of things. So there is no reason why I don't have a job. I have applied to jobs in the thousands, if not tens of thousands. I have an excellent resume that's posted here on LinkedIn, on my Instagrams, and I have a lot of followers. So I commonly ask followers for sponsorship, donations, and employment opportunities. There is no reason I don't have a job. It's completely out of my control. I've never been lazy with regards to job seeking. But I think that what's going on is I am being elected or have been elected as someone to, maybe by God, as someone to advocate for and call out issues that exist that most of us don't know about. And I intentionally labeled this problems our parents were ignorant to, that if we don't fix, will be inherited by our children. And I want to discuss this in a brief, less than 30-minute live chat here because I have other things to do. I'm at Whole Foods waiting to pick up some leggings and a T-shirt from Amazon and a tool for restoring your pelvic floor after having a baby that I was able to get from Amazon.
Well, that's nice. You have
thank
money.
God, because being homeless, you need a strong bladder and you need to be able to not urinate on yourself. We're commuting to see the baby on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we only get 2 hours each one of those days, and I'm still breastfeeding. So I'm wearing this wearable pump, and I'm breast pumping into it and dumping it into the street or in the sink, rinsing it out real quick and throwing it back in my bag, because if I don't keep pumping, my son won't get that milk. Prior to this week, I had a refrigerator in my room, and I was collecting the milk in sterile Lancinol bags and bringing it to him at the visits with no warning. After being promised we would never be kept in the street, we were thrown into the street.
No one can promise you that. Only you
We've
can
slept on
promise
the floor. Xavier's bicycle and cell phone were stolen last night. So it's not a good situation at all. And we continue to comply with our services that were ordered by DCFS for us to continue to be with our child. But there are laws. Norman Services is one of them that state that a parent cannot be separated from their child for issues of poverty alone. So I want to bring that up. I've posted in a number of different broadcasts the Bill of Rights, the article of specifically with regards to homeless people and people who are suffering from poverty of some kind.
Oh my God.
Because we do have rights. So who enforces those rights? Now, what I want to talk about this morning for about 10 minutes is the cycle of homelessness. Let's talk about it. So we have shelters, right? There are no walk-in shelters in the entire state of Illinois, which means that you have to be placed by a caseworker to get into a shelter. Okay? That means that we've been calling 311. My entire pregnancy I've been calling 311. They can't call me a negligent parent if I've been calling for housing assistance my entire pregnancy, being blatantly ignored any sort of assistance. I spent my entire pregnancy on the floor of a tent in a parking lot at Belmont Harbor. Okay, so I walked back and forth from the O'Hare area to drop off groceries to my children and give them hugs and tell them I love them. Understand also, for me, this is difficult emotionally. This is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I've never been away from my kids for longer than a day or two.
Yes, you have.
My kids have lived with me their entire lives prior to 2020 when I began, suffering from homelessness, houselessness. And I haven't been able to have a family holiday since 2020. Someone make it make sense, because if you know, you know.
You did that.
But when we speak specifically with regards to homelessness, let's talk about who occupies the majority of homeless facilities. That's going to be people coming out of prison. That's going to be people with disabilities,
Drug addicts.
maybe who have not been regularly or officially recognized as having a disability, like people who suffer from any sort of mental health or like maybe a knee injury or a mobility issue. Those are the people that are going to get assistance into housing first before anyone else. Mothers with their children are also going to get housing. So when they separated me from my baby, I'm not going to bring my big kids into housing. It's one thing to bring Weston. He's a newborn. He's a baby. He'll never remember this, and so bringing him into the housing shelter, that would be one thing. And I would be fine with that. I breastfeed him. All he really needs at this age is his mother. He doesn't need anything other than his mother and love from his mother, So my big kids, they need other things. They have social status. They have pressures from high school. They have all of these things. I would never want to bring my big kids through the shelter system. So thank God that I have family members who are able to take care of the big kids. I don't have anyone who can take care of Weston.
Yes, you do.
Now, I'm the only one who can take care of Weston. Now, when we discuss the situation of homelessness and we think about that demographic of people who need housing assistance, let's talk about going into prison, okay? So say these men and women, they finish their sentence, but they have nowhere to go. It's unconstitutional and illegal for us to leave them in prison. It also goes directly against parole laws in this state and in this country for us to just release them to themselves and put them out on the street. So that means that we have an obligation as taxpayers to put these people in housing.
I don't like being
now,
a taxpayer.
Don't you think it would be better to just be proactive with regards to these situations? To proactively fix these people who society deems are criminals, and teach them, give them life skills so that they don't need to commit crimes of poverty. That's gonna empty half of the prison systems right then and there. And whether we're paying to house these people in prison, or we're paying to house them in halfway houses, or we're paying to house them in facilities like across the street from the Shield of Hope. Now, ironically, the Shield of Hope is a family shelter, yet across the street is one of the largest facilities we have for men, not women, coming out of prison who need to be on house arrest. Salvation Army facility. Huge facility. That's who you want your kids around, right? People who just got done serving 10, 15 years in prison. They're so fucked up mentally, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. And we are responsible for that. Society is responsible for that.
For shit. Besides
if
me,
we can
myself, and my
nip
kids.
that in the bud before these people have to do illegal things because they have no shampoo, they have no food, they have nowhere to lay their head, they have nowhere to sleep. If we can resolve those issues proactively, then these people don't need to be outside committing crimes. Right? So understand that whether we fix the situation now or leave it to our children to fix, someone has to fix it. I think it's going to be AI, artificial intelligence, to be honest. I don't think that humans have the attention span to fix these problems that we've created. We created these problems. Poverty is the core of all of these problems. Universal housing, universal cash assistance. You should not have to be, any sort of qualifying factor to receive these things. Even if a person is on drugs or doing something, why would you prefer to have that person out in the streets where they can affect others? Why wouldn't you want someone who has a drug problem to be in their own home, affecting only themselves? It doesn't make sense to me. Universal housing, universal cash. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars a month. Give everyone a roof over their head, nothing glamorous, and give everyone $400 of cash, $300 of link. Evolve digital currency. Let's talk about Bitcoin mining. Then these people don't need to be outside committing crimes. Right? So understand that whether we fix the situation now or leave it to our children to fix, someone has to fix it. I think it's going to be AI, artificial intelligence, to be honest. I don't think that humans have the attention span to fix these problems that we've created. We created these problems. Poverty is the core of all of these problems. Universal housing, universal cash assistance. You should not have to be, any sort of qualifying factor to receive these things. Even if a person is on drugs or doing something, why would you prefer to have that person out in the streets where they can affect others? Why wouldn't you want someone who has a drug problem to be in their own home, affecting only themselves? It doesn't make sense to me.
This is so aggravating. I don't know why she doesn't understand that. If someone cannot take care of themselves and you give them free shit, what do you think they're going to do with it, Heather?
Let's talk about Bitcoin mining. Let's give everyone Bitcoin. We have enough. We have more than enough. Let's start making Amazon accept Bitcoin and then have these people order their groceries through Amazon Fresh so they never even have to interact with society. If they choose to come off of the drugs or stop committing the acts that are disruptive or detrimental to society, then great. Then they come back out. But before then, offer delivery services. Now, when you talk about recidivism and you discuss why recidivism is a thing, let's talk about it. So we have an obligation when these offenders come out of prison to give them housing, because we can't keep them in prison, because if we do, we're in...
Okay, first of all, why are we talking so much about people in prison? Why are we not talking about your situation? You sure are talking a lot about people coming out of prison and people with drug problems with someone who doesn't have a drug problem. Why don't you shut up and think about how does that make sense? Oh, you just committed a very bad crime that you had to go to prison for? Here is a new apartment. Would you like some new furniture as well? Here's some cash. Here's some food stamps. Have fun. Let us know if you need anything else. Oh, by the way, we will graciously deliver anything for you, like food or anything else, so you don't have to do anything. Don't even lift a finger. What the fuck? People work for their shit. This is America. Bitch.
In violation of their constitutional rights. They've served their time, they've paid their debt to society, we have to let them out. But because they're on parole, we can't let them out without an address to parole to. So we're putting a tremendous amount of weight on the shoulders of these parole officers with very little resources to do their jobs. And then we wonder, I wonder why this person left, skipped out on their halfway house or on their, house arrest or on their drug treatment or whatever. Where's the parole officer in all of this? Well, we're paying the parole officer a little over minimum wage to take care of violent criminal man babies and man ladies. Do you understand that? What the fuck? Go get a job on care.com, right? At least then you can get tipped and you can work with cute little babies.
Okay, so then why would anyone want to deliver to them? If someone can't be a probation officer, which, believe me, there's a lot of people who love being probation officers, then why would they want to deliver food and stuff to this person? Heather, make it make sense. Do you see how entitled that sounds? Where most people wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that? Like, let her play.
We need to rehabilitate these people. We need to stop putting them into a pattern of recidivism. That's us. That's on society. I don't deserve to be homeless. What the fuck am I doing out here? I have more than a bachelor's degree of education. What the fuck am I doing out here? Some man came up to Xavier and I, this is the last point I'm going to make. I'll speak about this infrequently. I prefer to focus on my children, but I do understand that as a mother, being a mother is my very most important role in life. There is nothing more important to me than being a mother. Nothing at all. Viviana Lewis, Alexis Weston, B Law. That's the acronym. So, that's everything to me. Now, I'll talk about these things, but I also want to keep in mind that I'm not talking about these things because I want to be some Martin Luther of 2024. I agree with equality and civil rights, but I'm not here because I'm holier than thou or because I'm perfect. I'm here because I'm a problem solver. I'm a business person, and I have...
No. You are there because you are not a problem solver. How long? 4, 5 years? And it's been 5 months just since you had Weston. That baby is 5 months old. You were pregnant for 9 months in what, a day or two? I mean, my gosh, Heather, how much time did you have? You are not a problem solver. You are a problem maker.
Compassion. So I see myself being affected by these issues. I feel as though they're affecting me with these issues so that I can be a mouthpiece for people who cannot communicate or articulate. Because when you do the math ain't mathing. I should have no reason to be out here. I've applied at jobs such as Starbucks, such as Whole Foods. I've applied at entry-level jobs that high school kids get. I'm completely...
I bet you she has never went to a counter at Whole Foods and said, "Hey, are you guys hiring by chance? Can I put an application or should I go online and fill one out?" I bet you she has not.
able-bodied, able-minded, and I'm not getting those jobs. I've also applied at executive jobs. I'm not getting those jobs. I was the administrator at Northwestern for endocrinology and rheumatology for 5 physicians, and then I was an on-call person for all of diabetic education and new diabetic diagnoses to teach them glucometer use, insulin use, etc., and so forth for up to 40 doctors at a time. I did that for 6 years without skipping a beat, and that was only just a surface level of my responsibilities. When we're talking about this situation, I want everyone to understand that all of these lives I've created, all of my resumes, all of my employment records, they all have electronic footprints. Long before you and I were using, electronics personally, institutions like Northwestern were using them. So when I was hired, there's record of that. There's record of me clocking in and out every single day. You can sit here and say that there's something wrong with me, but the AI doesn't lie because the AI knows the truth. There is nothing wrong with me. Why am I?
Nobody get mad. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's because that she does not have a filter on, but her face looks a little scabby. But supposedly she's been doing her drug test, so if she failed, she wouldn't be able to see him, right? Maybe she just has to, find better face wash. I'm seriously not being an asshole. I mean, shit, my face would probably look like freaking heck, too, if I was freaking homeless. I mean, but she literally was just homeless. She's not taking care of herself. Sorry, it is what it is. You're not taking care of yourself. Why would you? You're not taking care of anybody. At least you do your nails and your little face mask. That doesn't even help, though. And milk baths. Can you imagine all of her kids? Just who has each of her kids, and what they're probably doing. And Heather's over here taking milk baths, milking, pumping herself, dumping it into the bathtub, wearing face masks, doing her nails, getting leggings, new shoes, doing online courses, but no courses to get a job.
Outside. Why am I being denied employment? Why am I outside? So I take it to the next step, being a critical-minded person, and say, well, it must be because they want me to share a perspective that they can't find someone else to share as effectively, or that they don't think they have enough sharing going on.
How about you, the best?
We need to stop the cycle of recidivism. We need to assist these people proactively. That is the only way.
She's a spokesperson.
And I might be outside today, but I promise you, they're coming for you. If you have money, and you are not actively contributing to solutions, they are coming for you. They will put you outside. I promise you they will. It's in everyone's best interest to listen and take heed, and that's not a threat because, like I said, I'm being used as a mouthpiece. I'm here to let you know that we have this obligation morally and responsibly to our children, to our children's children, to ourselves, to each other. Our parents were not bad people. Our parents did not have communication like the internet. Our parents did not understand. Some of our parents are bad people, but for the most part, most of our parents were not maliciously thinking, how can we imprison an entire generation of people? No, it wasn't going on like that. It was going on like, wow, that's a bad guy. He must have really done something wrong. And there was no common connection being made to the poverty that was causing these issues and the actions that were being taken. Do you understand?
So bored.
We have the internet now, so it's our job to continue talking about these things, not in a way that oppresses each other and society, but in a way that informs and inspires thought and action so that we can correct these issues. Because otherwise they're going to keep putting us outside, you guys. They're going to keep saying, well, I got it from the mother. Nobody helped me. Nobody helped me. I was 14 years old, abandoned in a third.
Are you fucking kidding me? Nobody fucking helped you? Are you fucking kidding me right now? When? Which part are you talking about? Whenever you was freaking at Airbnbs in the old place, whenever he had John's, people didn't help you then? Or are you talking about whenever you've been in a tent and you've been in all these freaking shelters and you have all these sponsors? No help? Still no help? Bitch, whatever. How you getting leggings? Look at your face. Look at your face.
Country. I came back here to the United States and I was institutionalized until I was 17 years old. I got my first job. I put myself through college. I worked. I earned a career. I've been a business person. I gave birth to my children while being a full-time student and part-time employee. So I have done everything pretty much for myself. Along the way, there have definitely been assistants, people who have come in and worked as an assistant to me. There have also been directors, people who have said, if you don't do it this way, it's the wrong way. There have been aides and assistants and helpers and inspirers and motivators and donors and sponsors. But when you hear that phrase, I got it from the mud, I was 14 years old, abandoned in a third world country for a year. I came back to the United States with severe post-traumatic stress disorder, and I did this on my own. No inpatient treatment helped me. No person helped me.
She said, I got homeless on my own, bitch.
This is a personal decision that I had to make to be okay when the world was telling me not to be okay. So I love you guys. I hope that everyone has a great day.
No love lost.
I haven't lost hope yet. I have about 30 times, but I only allow myself, or they, the notorious they, only allow me to stay in.
Thank you, the notorious they. Thank you so much, Heather. Like, time and attention, you keep showing us that you're full of shit. She knows they. She almost laughed because she knows she's full of shit. She, watch, when she gets back in this tent, game's going to be back on.
I haven't lost hope yet. I have about 30 times, but I only allow myself, or they, the notorious they, only allow me to stay in a space of hopelessness for a few minutes or an hour at most before they pick me back up. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Our plan for today is I'm picking up that Kegel exerciser from the Amazon. I'm also going to grab a pair of leggings and a t-shirt. I have only enough money for my phone bill, so sponsors, they shut down my Cash App. I really need help. DCFS has been paying for our transportation every single week, giving us bus passes. My son is 5 months old. Last week they said they weren't sure if they could get the funding in time. We have visits on Wednesday, so Xavier and I both need a 7-day pass to get to those visits. Sponsors, please do not let me down on this. A lot of bad things have happened. I can't give up on my child. I need all 4 of my children to know that I'm here, I'm invested, and I'm going nowhere, no matter what they do to me. That's the least you can do. Please help me out with the bus pass. Xavier and I need a 7-day pass. The department put in a request formally, the supervisor told me, on Friday for a 30-day pass. So hopefully we'll be getting that by Wednesday. But just in anticipation that we don't, and also as someone with no housing right now, we need to get from shelter to shelter. They're not accepting us, but we could shower there sometimes. We could ask them for assistance or a meal sometimes. So please, we need that transportation. That transportation is everything. I do have Zelle, and the Zelle is associated with my phone number and my email address. I don't want to give it publicly because that's how the slander started last time. But we don't have Cash App. I don't have Cash App access anymore. So if you'd like to donate, please DM me or comment on somewhere, how I can reach you. And please send something or find me in person. We're downtown at the Whole Foods on Chicago Avenue and State Street right now. I'm picking up my package and then we're planning to head out to the beach. I'm going to do a short workout, shower, and then we're planning on coming back to the Gold Coast to ask for sponsorship in person and kind of meet people and say hi and, get the word out of what's going on. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. And if you can help, please do.
July 18, 2024, 20 weeks old, mama's boy. 8:43 a.m. Thinking of a way. No, you're not. You're probably thinking of a way to scam people.
All right, I'm gonna get some sparkling cider. Okay. It wouldn't be a celebration without cider or a celebratory song, but this time I want you to sit right here.
Are you kidding? How many motherfucking phones you got? I swear, she a phone store.
Have a seat here and let's just get this.
What are you doing, Heather?